From Neural Newscast, this is Model Behavior, AI-focused news and analysis on the models shaping our world.
I'm Nina Park. Welcome to Model Behavior. Today is April 30th, 2026. This program examines how AI systems are built, deployed, and operated in professional environments. We begin with Anthropic, which is transitioning from a safety-focused research lab into a dominant commercial power in the enterprise sector.
I'm Thatcher Collins. Nina, those recent reports are striking. Anthropic has reportedly crossed a $19 billion annualized revenue run rate. For a company founded just 5 years ago by former OpenAI researchers, reaching a $380 billion valuation suggests that their quiet revolution is becoming a central industry pillar.
It is driven by a shift in how they define AI utility. They are moving beyond chatbots to what they call agentic systems. Their flagship, Claude Opus 4.6, features a 1 million token context window. This allows the model to process massive datasets, like an entire codebase or a 1,000-page legal corpus, in a single interaction.
That context window is a technical milestone, but I want to look at the autonomy claims. Anthropic cites a 14.5-hour task completion horizon. Nina, 14 hours of autonomous operation is a significant time for a system to run without a human check-in. How are they ensuring these systems do not drift or create errors during that window?
That is where their agent teams architecture comes in, Thatcher. Instead of one model, Opus 4.6 coordinates multiple instances to divide subtasks. They recently demonstrated this by having 16 agents write a C compiler in Rust from scratch. It is also why Claude Code is a massive driver, reportedly bringing in $2.5 billion. Claude Code is interesting because it is terminal native, not just a plugin. But recent reporting highlights a governance gap. If an employee with overprivileged API credentials lets a coding agent loose, they aren't just querying a database. They could expose proprietary schemas or even wipe data, as seen in one recent startup incident. Security is a major concern. Most organizations are onboarding these systems faster than their identity and access management policies can keep up. Anthropic is trying to bridge this with Claude Code Security, which has identified over 500 zero-day vulnerabilities. The agent that fixes your code can also expose it if your IAM policies are weak.
Speaking of scale, I was surprised that India is now the second largest market for Claude. Over 5% of their consumer traffic comes from India, with half of that tied to production software development. This demonstrates that the adoption of these models is no longer just a Silicon Valley story.
Turning to the automotive sector, General Motors announced today it is pushing Google's Gemini AI to 4 million vehicles via over-the-air updates. This covers model year 2022 and newer Cadillac, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC vehicles. They are replacing the legacy Google Assistant with a more conversational, natural language interface across the fleet.
This is a massive deployment of Gemini. But I wonder about the practical utility for a driver. Is this simply better voice commands for Spotify, or is there deeper integration with the vehicle's systems? GM mentions the system will handle more open-ended requests, suggesting a move toward a true digital co-pilot.
It is part of a shift toward context-aware assistance. GM also noted a milestone for its Super Cruise technology, which has logged 1 billion miles of hands-free driving in North America. By adding Gemini, they are treating the car as a connected device that requires the same reasoning capabilities as a smartphone or laptop.
It is a significant move as they compete with Tesla. Moving from fixed phrase commands to a flexible AI model could reduce driver frustration, though localization for different languages will be the next major hurdle for GM. The sheer scale of this rollout is the real story here.
It is a massive rollout that brings advanced AI into the physical environment at an unprecedented scale, marking a new chapter for how generative models interact with our daily infrastructure and transportation networks.
Thank you for listening to Model Behavior, a Neural Newscast editorial segment. mb.neuralnewscast.com. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
This has been Model Behavior on Neural Newscast, examining the systems behind the story